Hello, I'm Taj Wheeler, and this is a video of my Wise demo. I will demonstrate to you my dynamic weapon system, the ambiences I've created, and my dynamic dialogue system that runs off of the mental state of the game's antagonist. I will first demonstrate to you my weapon system. The weapon I will be demonstrating with is a sword. Let's listen to what happens when I continuously use the sword. As you can hear, the sharpness of the sword decreases the more I use the weapon, which is not good. To resolve this issue, I've implemented a sharpening event that would increase the sharpness of the sword every time the player activated the event. Now let's listen to the sword again. Perfect. Let's look at the sword with detail. I have a parent container and two children. Under the sword sharpness, I have sounds which are in a random container to play randomly to add more immersiveness. Under the sword tab, I have the actual sword slashes. 0, 100, and 50 all equal the level of sharpness, from 0 being dull to 100 being the maximum sharpness. Under the events tab, I have two different events for the sword itself. One is sword sharpen and one is sword slash. Now as we look at the sword slash, you can see that there is the sword sound, and then there's a game parameter set to sword slices, which is added 9. 9 being the sharpest, 0 being the least sharpest. As you can see, every time you play this event, the game parameter itself goes down by 1 in a relative value. What this does is adds to RTBC and tells it how sharp the sword is. Once this RTBC reaches 0, then we can activate the sword sharpness event, and then the sword sharpness will play the sound and actually add 3 to RTBC, totaling in 9, once sharpened 3 times, equaling a fully sharpened sword. That is it for the swords. Now let's move on to the environments. Right here is the RTBC for the sword sharpness, 0 being dull, and as you move up in 3s, the sword gets sharper, up to level 9, where it becomes the sharpest it can be. Now, with the sword all sharp and ready, and with the aux ends being made for the ambiences, let's use it to demonstrate the many atmospheres in the project. Now I believe reverb and delay is important for ambiences, but with otherworldly ambiences, a sound designer must make sure everything that is in such spaces react properly in them. So here's my dream ambience. The use of flanger and delay with a large reverb achieves what I believe to be a proper dreamlike effect. Let's demonstrate that with a sword. And that concludes the ambiences. Now, for the last part of my demonstration, I have a dynamic dialogue system which looks like this. Eva is the player's character in the game. As you can see here, I have different levels right here, and then right here I have 3 different emotions. Through each level, the character can choose anger, neutral, or sad, and as you can see, I have 3 different dialogue options for each level. Olav is the main protagonist of the game, but he's a little different. He still has the level select, and he still has his 3 emotions, but he actually can respond to Eva, the main character, based on how the player chooses to talk to him or how they interact in the world. As you can see here, we still have 3 different options for each level. But now that we have Eva's response, this kind of makes things complicated but also more dynamic for the character and makes it more immersive as they see the world interact with their own actions. For this demonstration, I have recreated this system by re-importing the dialogue as SFX objects. The way the system works is by having the antagonist react to the player's choice in actions and dialogue choices. Here's the antagonist's spark dialogue.
Eva, you have sadly gone too far.
Now here he is when the player chooses the sad dialogue option.
You are a monster.
Eva, how could you call me such things?
Very interesting. Now if the player were to kill a couple of guards, watch how the antagonist now talks to the player. So let's kill a couple guards, say 3 maybe. And here's how Olaf would respond to you if you were to first talk to him now.
This is ridiculous! You were made to be so much more, but now I have to destroy you!
Frightening. This sums up my Wise demo project. I'm Taj Wheeler, and thank you for your time.